Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
When it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have.
We've made too many compromises already, too many retreats. They invade our space, and we fall back.
I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice.
You're a disease, and I'm the cure.
I'm gonna do this the old-fashioned way, with 2 swords and maximum effort.
I will make them pay for what they've done.
Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome back to Natural 20. Took a week off again because nothing kind of fit the bill. But this week, we've got stuff to talk about. We had no Mellow Mondays this week either because I didn't have anything to talk about, and I wanted to get a jump start on trying to get Stellar Blade. That's Stellar Blade done. I'm having a slow night, guys. I got to apologize for that. It's going to be a bit of a rough one, I think, but it's going to be a good show tonight because we got stuff to talk about. No monologue tonight. I got nothing particular on that end to rant about, but we are going to talk about a couple different things. One that I have been holding off for today because I felt it was best to go over all the Square-Enix stuff and sort of related issues in stream rather than blabbering about it in a video, which would take too long. But I mean long in that there's a lot of stuff to cover, and it feels better, more applicable to do it here in the stream situation. And then let's see, we got that out of nowhere, the Dune Prophecy trailer. People want to know what I think about it, so we're going to watch that. I haven't looked at it yet, so you're going to get a live reaction from me on that. And then we got a little Disney news. Bob Iger says Disney Plus has been too expensive. What a surprise. So get into that. Before we get started, though, let's go over what's going on the rest of the week here now. We are going into Thursday tomorrow. We're probably going to finish Stellar Blade tomorrow night. When I get home tomorrow night, after I do some stuff, we're going to get on the gaming channel, Renaissance Red Arcade, and we're going to finish Stellar Blade more than likely. Then Friday will be Ball Busters at 11 p.m. Eastern over on Dermy's channel. And Saturday, first drive-in. On Saturday Night Drive-In, Jed and I, with a guest or two, will be watching Attack of the Clones, continuing our Star Wars Month celebration. Going to go over that. And then after that, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, Dermy, myself, and Jed will be joining us full-time doing the Doctor Who reviews. It will be simulcast across all our channels. We're going to keep roasting the disaster that is Doctor Who. If you want to see some more Doctor Who news, I did put out a video today. Go check it out when we're done here, though. Wait till we're done here. And then that's it for Saturday. I'll probably and then that's it for official stuff Saturday. There'll probably be some more gaming across certain areas Saturday night. Sunday roundtable 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll go over the week's events, including some stuff that happened today. And then let's see, Monday there will be Mellow Mondays. We'll be back with Mellow Mondays next week. I'll make sure that everything is nice and ready to go. I don't like to skip too many weeks. This kind of had to happen this week for a couple of reasons. And in addition to the fact that I really had nothing to talk about. And then we are getting ever closer. We are a couple of short weeks away from the beginning of what's going to be a lot of reviews. We will continue with the Doctor Who reviews for the next month and a half. Beginning of June, Acolyte begins. And then a few days after that, we've got my non-fan review. And I say non-fan because I'm not a fan of Germ, not into Game of Thrones. I don't detest it. I just don't think much of it in terms of thinking of it at all. So you're going to get my straight down the middle reviews of Hot D Season 2. And once that's all over, because we got Acolyte and that overlap, and by the time all of that is over, August 29th, we got the news yesterday, Rings of Power Season 2. Yes. Rings of Power Season 2. You'll get my reviews. And then that Saturday, August 31st, This Is Mordor Country returns from basically through August, end of August through September, probably into October. Saturday Night Drive-In will go on hiatus and will be replaced. Its time slot will be taken up by This Is Mordor Country, where myself, Jed, and a various round or a round table, but you know what I get, a panel, a rotating panel. That's where I wanted. Rotating panel of guests. We will cover and discuss, break each episode down, and punish ourselves like we did with season 1. It should be a good time, and I hope to see you guys there. We'll keep talking about it. Should be a good variety of people, considering I know more internet people since last time we did it. So should be fun, should be exciting. I'm looking forward to it, and I appreciate everybody's support going forward, because the channel is still ticking along slowly, not growing quickly, but I appreciate our support. But this is the over the next year, we got to try and get this channel going, because I need the channel to grow. I really do. I need it to grow. I need it to help me help support me in a lot of ways, so that I can move on with certain things in my life and help out certain parts of my life. So all your support is greatly appreciated as we go forward, growing the channel, getting it out there so that we can move forward and do bigger, greater, and grander things. All right. So I'll say hi to you guys, and let's just get started with tonight's stuff. Hail, Goddess Legionist, one of my mods, one of my regulars here to keep the peace and be my personal troll. Hail to you, young man, Jaden Hamilton. How are you? Listen, a lot of you good people coming in and out of here. I don't know how long some of you have been following. The only person I know for sure that has been here since the beginning is Legatus, because he was there on the Geeks and Gamers forums, the original Geeks and Gamers forums. I think there'll be new ones coming out with a new website, so I'll probably be there too. Get that, help that out, help populate that. But Legatus is the only person I can confirm. Him and Mustang have been there since the very beginning. So I don't know when you came along, Jen Hamilton, but I am glad to have helped you out finding the EU. Good evening, Kale. How are you? How are you doing? And anybody else, if you're not chatting, just hanging out, I appreciate your support. Hit that like button, share the video, and we'll get going here. And I gotta apologize. I'm a little out of sorts today. Don't know why. Not everything is firing, but we are going to do our best. We're gonna do our best. Gonna have some. Let's start with that Dune Prophecy trailer. I haven't watched it yet. I've been asked by a couple people in DMs what I thought of it, and I don't know what to think yet because I haven't seen it. I haven't looked at it yet. So let's put it up. So we're gonna watch a Dune trailer. Then we're gonna talk Bob Iger. Then we'll do the Square-Enix stuff, because that's probably gonna take the longest, and it's what I have the most thoughts on. That was gonna be the focus of tonight's show. The other stuff just kind of happened today. So here we go. Let me get this over here. Let's bring up the trailer. Now, here's the thing. I have very little respect. You guys know this. You've heard me talk about it. I have very little respect for current live action Dune projects. In fact, I have none. I have no respect whatsoever. I thought I thought his Dune adaptations are garbage. The first one was boring. The second one wasn't even Dune whatsoever. There's a Dune MMO coming out, or it's not an MMO, it's like a partial MMO, whatever it's called. It's taking place in an alternate reality where Paul Atreides never becomes an imperfect Kwisatz Haderach. Doesn't even exist. So it's a weird game. Looks like they're gonna do that more. And they've got this, and I think they got another TV show in the works. So this came out of nowhere today. This is, I believe, the Bene Gesserit show, that the Sisterhood. I think it was called Sisterhood at one point. I think that's what this is. So let's look at it. I will stop as I go. It's only 1 minute 34 seconds. Let's get a look.
10,000 years before the birth of Paul Atreides, before the universe would know us as the Bene Gesserit, we founded a sisterhood.
Now, here's my simple question going this way. My first thought looking at this. I don't care. I don't care. This is 10,000 years before any of the important events that actually move the story forward. And also, it's not exactly, I don't, I have to bring up the timeline to take a look at it, but are they covering actual Dune historical events in this, or is just the founding of the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood, which was not called the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood? It was, I mean, I did a lore video for Jed a couple of months ago, and I honestly, I've forgotten half of what I put in there because I was really focusing on it, and then I kind of info dumped myself into it, and then I info dumped myself out of it. But unless you're going to go over a lot of the major events, and even then, the Bene Gesserit, what they do is in the shadows. They're not up front in any conflicts. It's the breeding program. All that matters is the breeding program. That's it. That is all that matters to them. So unless I hear the words, we're going to make a Kwisatz Haderach in this trailer, I got to wonder, what the hell's the point? Let's keep going.
Assigned to the great houses to help them sift truth from lies.
Assigned to the great house, the truth. No, you're there to be spies. You're there to spy on them. You're there to manipulate them. In many cases, you're there to assault them and take their genetic material, or put your girls in place to get that genetic material so you can breed the Kwisatz Haderach. You're not there to be truthsayers. That's just a role that they fill so that they're there at courts.
We created a network of influence throughout the Imperium. But power comes with a price. A sister on the throne. Nothing is more important.
What is this? Power comes with a price. They controlled everything. I mean, they don't. I mean, yeah, but you're right, Sir Grizzle. They didn't even come into existence. They came into existence after the Voltarian Jihad. I did the lore video for Jed. I put it all in there, and it's a sister on the throne. What is this? No, the throne doesn't matter. Breeding is all that matters. And sisters weren't on the throne. They were put in there as concubines to make sure the bloodlines are, and then a child would be taken and bred with another house to form the potential of a Kwisatz Haderach. They have multiple avenues. This is already stupid. I'm sorry. This is dumb already.
And this is the marriage that makes it possible. This is us playing God. And we will be judged for it. Hearken. Sisterhood above all.
This looks stupid, but I guess I'm going to watch it. I guess I'm going to watch and review. This will be easier to tackle than going after Denny Vinga's Dune adaptations, because those caught a little bit of cultural fire. This thing is going to drop on Max for probably 8 to 10 weeks, and it's going to be viewed initially, and then it's probably going to be forgotten because look at it. They're trying to ironically, and I say this with all the intention of the stupidity of how it sounds, they're trying to turn Dune into Game of Thrones, but Dune came before Game of Thrones, and all the Game of Thrones stuff that happens in Dune is basically just part of the history. They don't actually write about it because it's not that interesting. The Bene Gesserit think in terms of thousands of years. It's not in the moment. A moment is just getting that egg fertilized so you can just put out a baby and have it mate with another baby to make the bloodlines going that way, all to create a Kwisatz goddamn Haderach. This is retarded. This looks stupid. This looks, I mean, yes, it's a teaser trailer. Fine. This is just a teaser trailer, but I don't. What on earth are they going to try and do with this? All right, hang on. Let's bring up the Dune timeline real quick. I wasn't ready for this. I didn't know the exact time date. Let's get a Dune timeline up here. Give me 1 second. Dune timeline. Okay. We'll go with expanded Dune because people want to bitch about how the final books don't exist, but they exist. They're fine. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, let's zoom in just a little bit. All right, so 10193, 10193, the Carino Empire. So they're basically going to take us to the beginning of the Carino Empire. Not even that. Hang on a second. Here we are. This is Atreides Empire. Yes, they're taking us back to the beginning before the formation of the Carino Empire. They're gonna take us to before Spice's. Well, no, Spice is already a thing because no, it isn't a thing. Yes, it is. Because the Spacing Guild had already put together shit. I don't know. This is retarded. There's much less than seconds again. What do you mean, Mustang? What do you mean? I'll have to bring it back up. Hang on. Let me watch the last 10 seconds again. Hang on a second. All right, hang on. Let me bring it back up. All right, last 10 seconds. I mean,
Above all.
was there more after this? No, it's just a max thing. You mean right here? Where they're all gyrating? Okay, wait a minute. Did I miss something there? Some sort of fight. People, that's obviously somebody probably giving birth. I don't know. But I mean, whatever.
Sisterhood above all.
I don't. Let me go back to the other thing. It looks like they're trying to shtup this in around the birth of the Carino dynasty. And it's, I don't know if that's a throne. That might just be it might be Chapter House. It might be the creation of Chapter House. And that's where this is, you know what, they're doing what non-creatives do all the time. They're picking a section of time where there's things happen, but all you have are moments. All you have are moments. And you don't have actual stories to tell. So they're going to make shit up. They're going to make shit up all to, oh God. What gets me the most out of this is they are trying to make Dune Game of Thrones when Dune did Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones existed. Political intrigue and all that kind of stuff. Dune did it long before that, and did it with Lex. Did it with they did it better. I will say, Dune did it better from what I can see in my slim comparisons. Dune did it better because, oh God, This is I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I knew there's going to be shit, but this is waste of time shit. And here's the problem when we watch this in the fall, and by fall I'm betting October. That's probably when this is going to drop. When we watch this, because it's around right here, it's got to be about 193 when the Korean Empire is formed. They're going to simply wait a minute. No. 10183 is when it happens. So they're going to go all the way. Oh, God damn it. They're leading. Oh, wait, I'm wrong. No, wait, what? Yeah, they're going. Yeah, you're right. 10193 is when it started. So they're literally going back to. It's only been probably 100 years since the end of the Bulgarian Jihad. And there's literally no info. There's nothing to tell. They're just gonna have a bunch of Bene Gesserit either effing dudes or killing people or pretending to say, oh my. I'm struggling with this because my mind cannot comprehend that they're gonna go right to the beginning of the Korean Empire. It's only been in existence for about a little less than 100 years. And they're going to are they going to cover these things right here or what? I mean, oh my God. Well, here's the problem. There could be diversity all over the place here because it's just humanity. There's no people humanity. These are the survivors of the Bulgarian Jihad fleeing Earth colonies. There's no but it's not so much diversity, equity, inclusion. It's more this is going to have intersectional feminism all over it, and it's going to be screwing with something that doesn't need it because the Bene Gesserit are in charge. They run things from the shadows, and it's a balancing act between them, the Spacing Guild, and the Bene Tailax. And the Korean Empire is just it's basically the empires. They're all their playthings as they F around to trying to get their special shit done that they all want to do. They're all their visions for a better humanity. So basically at 1000 at 0 AG 1 BG 1 AG, all they're gonna what are you gonna show us? This Korean Empire, here it comes, boom. This is all we have on the timeline for the beginning of the Korean Empire right here at 10,000 years ago. The Great Convention is signed. According to it, the combined power of the great houses may destroy anyone who used the Okay, great. So we outlaw atomics. I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, you can throw the stuff like Roderick Corino. That's more Spacing Guild history than Corino. Now we heard him say Vile Harkonnen in the trailer there, but if you're gonna do that shit, then why not have an Atreides versus House Harkonnen series of their ancient rivalry? No, so we do Bene Gesserit being whammons. It doesn't make sense. They're doing this so they could just make shit up. That's what they're doing. It's bad enough that Denny Vinga go fuck yourself made shit up and fucked with the end of the first of these two movies and fucked it all up. Bad enough. But now they're going to go into a period of time where there is literally nothing to really latch onto except blips in history, and they're just going to make shit up. So all they're going to do is make shit up. And some people are going to go, oh my God, doing stuff. Yay! Fucking normie responses. Not aware that this is stupid. And you're being fed stuff that isn't actually canon or source material. Oh my God. I wasn't ready for this. I'm going to have to. We'll come back to this as it gets closer. As it gets closer, I will be better prepared to deal with this. Because I'm going to have to watch this. It's going to be a weird review, though. Because it's not as though I can have anything to to compare it to. There's no source material to compare what they're going to be putting out. So it's going to be weird. But I'll review it. Hell, I'll review that. And I'll shit on it probably. I'll probably shit on it. Because this isn't... Who asked for this? It's the question that I will pose each and every goddamn time. Who asked for this? Who asked for this? The people who liked Dune Part 1 and Dune Part 2, they've already forgotten about it. Nobody's talking about it anymore. Oh, it's getting released on digital. Nobody cares. It's fart in the wind. And they're going to have a massive problem with Messiah. Because Messiah, listen, Children of Dune did the best they could and it was good. But they did it in an hour and a half. Denny V can't do anything under 2.5 hours. And he's already fucked with the storyline. So people who were into that, they've already forgotten it. They've moved on. And very few people picked up the books after this. There was a small rush of people going to read Dune, and Dune remains exactly where it was before the movie started. It's a niche property. You either love it or you hate it. You're either hardcore or you don't give a shit. The status of Dune hasn't changed. It's exactly where it was. Because what they did is they only appealed to the normies. They did what Denny Vigga and everybody behind him and everybody involved in that movie. They did exactly what they always fucking do. They appealed heavily to the normies who are only interested as long as it's right in front of their face. And maybe I would say maybe 2% of the normies decided to go and get into the actual franchise. The rest of them moved on to the next thing, leaving only the people, the book fans, behind. And I know I'm not alone. Most book fans were like, fuck these movies. Fuck them. Very few said, oh, I can take it for what it is. Most said, fuck this movie. Fuck them both. You can keep it. I don't need goddamn flat-chested with a little boy's ass Zendaya and Timothy Chalamet in these roles. I don't need it. I don't need a butchering of every single storyline in there. I don't need a disrespect to Herbert's entire purpose. I don't need that. So what's left? Nothing. There's no fan base climbing over each other to watch Dune Prophecy. Not happening. This thing's going to be a blip. It's going to be a fart. I'm only going to cover it because it's something that I'm into. And I can have something to say about it. Damn. What a ridiculous fucking thing. And here's the disrespect, too. The fact that you have the Bene Gesserit, who are a legitimate, strong female organization that nobody who is a fan of Dune has a problem with. And now you're going to intersectionalize them. You're going to turn them all into power-hungry whores. And yes, they wanted power, but it was power for a purpose. It was not to rule, simply to guide, because they were true believers in guiding humanity to perfection and safety so that another Bolterian jihad would never happen. Oh, my God. Why must I be made to suffer this shit? Why? Why must I watch the things I love either be desecrated or, it's a good word, downgraded? What Denis Villeneuve and everybody involved with these Dune movies, and now whoever's behind this stupid Max show, they're downgrading Dune. They're downgrading Dune. They're making it massively normie accessible. God damn. I already did watch Velma. I'm done with Velma. Done with Velma. Hell, I wish it had been weekly. Because look what I did with just the one video. Most views I've had in a year on anything on this channel. I wish it had been weekly. I would have been happy for it to have been weekly. Fallout should have been weekly. All this shit should be weekly. Motherfuckers are going to drop 3 episodes of Rings of Power on day 1. I fucking know it. It means we're all going to be crazy that first night on Mortal Country. We're going to lose our shit that night trying to get through 3 episodes. Last time it took us 4 hours to get through it. Mustang Velma dropped 4 weeks ago, dude. That was 4 weeks ago. It's over. It's done. I did my one shot video. It's over. Velma happened. Yeah, that happened. And Velma sucked, but it was funny suck. It was suck that was so stupid and so bad that it would have made great content for 8 weeks or 10 weeks if they hadn't just dumped it all at once to make it go away. Now it's over. Nobody talks about it anymore. It's just done. It's over. They're not going to get a season 3 because season 2 was baked into the original contract. It was 20 episodes and they cut it in half. Yeah, but the Rings of Power, they're going to dump all that. They do these multi-episode dumps. Just at least Acolyte. Well, is Acolyte going to be 2 episodes? Shit, I think it's 2 episodes too. I hate the double episode drop. I really do. Because it throws everything off for that day. It throws everything off. And it makes you rush the review just a little bit because you got a lot to do. And well, at least it's on a Thursday, which means I'm not trying to beat FNT on a Friday. So I'm glad about that. Oh, no, wait. No, I'm sorry. I think Acolyte's actually on a Wednesday. Yeah. So I'll be trying to beat myself. Well, we may lose some natural 20s. We may lose natural 20. I mean, when is June 4th? God damn it. Is it Tuesday or is it a Wednesday? Tuesday. Okay. All right, good. All right. So but is it going to be Tuesday night or Wednesday morning? Well, all right. Either way, it's either dropping on Tuesday, which is probably Tuesday night, or is it Monday night into Tuesday? I don't know. We'll find out. I'll find out. Either way, better at that point in the week. I'm not trying to race to get ahead of any other streams. But it will. Rings of Power. I'm not sorry, Rings of Power, Acolyte. Well, it's all the fucking same. It's all goddamn same. Acolyte will be probably 2 episodes. It might fuck with if it comes out Tuesday night into Wednesday. We might not get a natural 20 that day because I will be reviewing Acolyte all day, and my brain will be smush. So I might not get that done. But if it's just 1 episode, then we'd be normal. But 2 episodes, I can't do that. That sucks. I could do it. You know what I mean? I can't do that and stream. But better that to try to beat FNT or another large fellowship stream. Yeah, but these shows, they all do these things where they can just F with continuity. I mean, Disney does it with Star Wars. That's what they've done with Star Wars. They made up their own continuity so they can fuck with it, and they can't even keep track of their own bullshit. That's what they do. They can't even keep track of their own bullshit. We know Amazon, the people they work with, they make shit up. Look at Wheel of Time, Wheel of Prime, whatever the fuck I call it. Then you've got this coming out. Now this is going to be stupid. Prophecy's going to be dumb. Going to be dumb. But I'll cover it. I'll cover it and be that. All right. Let's get away from this because I'm going to keep talking in circles because my mind is trying to comprehend all this crap. All right. Let's talk about Bob Iger real quick. Let's talk about Bob Iger. I caught this one this morning, and I found this interesting. We got a little article here from Hollywood Reporter. It was this morning, came out this morning, so it's nice and fresh. Have I lowered this all the way? Make sure I've lowered this in. No, I haven't. Hang on. Too much light on my face from the screen because Hollywood Reporter doesn't have a goddamn dark mode. Whenever I try to use one of those dark mode extensions, it doesn't work. It screws up the text, and I can never see anything. So we got this. I saw this morning, and I thought, hey, I'll talk about it tonight. Bob Iger reflects on Disney's streaming launch. We invested too much. Oh, you don't say, bobblehead. You don't say. The studio boss talked about his turnaround strategy to boost audience engagement. and manage traditional TV and digital assets seamlessly. This should be rich. This should be shilltastic, guys. Make it a little bit bigger on the main screen here for all of us. There we go. All right. Disney CEO Bob Bobblehead Iger gave a mea culpa for big losses incurred while launching streaming platforms like Disney Plus during an investor conference appearance on Wednesday. Disney Plus has never made a profit, and even though they say they made $45 million last week, they only did that by borrowing from themselves. They didn't really make any money. They never made a profit, never going to be profit. As we got into the streaming business in a very, very aggressive way, we tried to tell too many stories. Basically, we invested too much way ahead of possible returns. It's what led to streaming ending up as a $4 billion loss, Iger told Moffett Nathanson Media Internet and Communications Conference during a session that was webcast. So he's telling everybody now that Disney Plus, in its I'm going to assume this is lifetime, that Disney Plus has lost $4 billion. And I think I'm interpreting this correctly. Somebody tell me if I'm not. We basically invested too much, way ahead of possible returns. It's what led to streaming ending up as a $4 billion loss. Disney Plus began as a project in 2013 under Bob Iger's demand. And when it launched during the coup in 2020, I think it's not just 2020, right? In the past 4 years, it's basically lost $1 billion a year. And you'll wonder why Disney has no money. Because they created a black hole that only sucks things in. Let's keep going. Iger addressed a falling out with his handpicked successor, former Disney handpicked successor, my ass. You picked Chapek to be a fall guy because you knew it was going to go bad during and post-coup. You knew. So you could sweep in and not be blamed for everything. Good Lord. Falling out with Bob Chapek, whose tenure he called out for whose tenure he called out for lavish and misplaced content spending. Okay, let's read this, and I gotta say what I gotta say. It's clear to me that our structure was not working because we were removing accountability from those that were basically investing the most capital was a mistake. You son of a bitch. Everything Chapek did, you set the groundwork for. Chapek didn't do anything of his own decision-making. You were still there. You were still head of the board of directors. You were still head of the board of directors. You're full of shit. You were still pulling strings. You set up the groundwork. You set the table that everybody dined at and got food poisoning from. The accountability starts with you, Bob Iger. Doesn't start with anybody else. This is the biggest load of rewriting history I've seen yet from these assholes. My God. Ugh. Iger said Chapek had moved the P&L profit and losses responsibility to the studio's distribution arm, a move he reversed on his return as CEO in 2022. You probably said go ahead and do it, you freaking liar. The result of spending more on content that could be turned to profit resulted in volume and not quality, which turned out to be a mistake, Iger added. The Disney boss conceded volume was required to win streaming wars against rivals like Netflix and Prime Video. Son of a bitch. Every single project that launched on Disney Plus went into production while you were still CEO. You were still CEO. Talk about being blind. This is ridiculous. He has some balls to say, "Oh, Bob Chapek, he decided to do all this stuff." Motherfucker, you're the one that put it into action first. Every single project was yours. Mandalorian, WandaVision, Winter Soldier, and fake Black Captain America, and every single other thing that came out while Chapek was there. Good Lord. There's a very fine line that you can cross and get in trouble if your volume ends up diluting management's attention to what was being made as right. And that's I got to read that again. There's very fine line you can cross and get in trouble if your volume ends up diluting management's attention to what is being made is right. What the hell is that? Does that sound weird to you? That sounds weird to me. Those words don't quite go together. And that's what happened to us. So I have pulled that back. You pulled it back. Pulled it back my ass. As a part of his turnaround plan for Disney, Iger said he reinstalled a link between the creative and monetization sides of the studio to basically help guide what was being made when it was being made where and meaning internationally. God, this guy doesn't know how to talk, does he? I mean, seriously, he's saying words, but they have no meaning. It's as though they're being strung together just to sound like he's talking intelligently. I've basically helped create a guide and connection to what was being made, when it was being made, and where meaning internet. Oh my! Talk about a moron. Bob Iger's an idiot. Look, listen to his words. He's a moron. The fact that they are trying to run cover for his stupidity never ceases to amaze me. He reiterated his respect for rival Netflix for being able to engage users with appealing content. Hey, listen, Netflix is a 50-50 at best. Netflix, you either get complete shit or something decent. There's no in between. I've been telling everybody good isn't good enough. It has to be great. Just keep driving that. But if you force them to make too much, then that becomes almost impossible to do, Iger added, returning to the thorny question of balancing volume quality. Okay, he says, I'm telling everybody good isn't good enough. It has to be great. Motherfucker, then how about, let's take 2022 to 2023. Let's play bobbleheads game and pretend that everything that happened in 2022 and 2023 on Disney Plus, let's say that was Bob Chapek's plan. That was his fault because he was there first. Then how come everything that happened in 2023 to 2024 was shit too, Bob? Everything was just as bad when you took over. Again. In fact, you were always there. Let's not pretend anything otherwise. It was still bad. It was still bullshit. It was still uncreative. It was still derivatives galore. It was still mooching off previous successes that weren't yours nor the people that decided to make these new versions. This is ridiculous. To drive engagement, Iger's evolving streaming strategy has included bundling Disney Plus with Hulu because both of them are failing. You're trying to hide Disney Plus inside Hulu now so that you can boost your subscriber count. I won't get into too many details here, but if you are a Disney Plus subscriber, for an extra $2, you can get Hulu ad supported. The combination of those two is an engagement play more than anything else. At least he's telling the truth about that. It's just to get subscriptions. And they're also bundling Disney Plus with anything they can get their hands on so they can create fake accounts. I've told you this in previous streams and videos. They are even going to, if the deal goes through, it hasn't happened yet, if the deal goes through between Kroger and Disney, if you have the Kroger app, you get Disney Plus for free. So they're trying to create a boom of subscribers that isn't really there. He added bundling Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus to get all three streaming services together potentially can increase engagement to an extraordinary level. Nobody wants ESPN Plus. People are okay with Hulu, and nobody wants Disney Plus. People have been trying to uninstall Disney Plus from their devices since the moment it launched. Only retards on Twitter wanted to watch retard programming. Ugh. All right. When he was no longer CEO, he addressed this in 2022 when he was no longer CEO, but about to return to replace Chapa. And the traditional team was marching to a distinct precipice, and it's going to be pushed off. Yeah, because you, among everybody else, helped it get there. Because you ruined it with all your programming. Remember, ABC is under the umbrella of Disney. Any programming that comes out of there is Disney. So you play a role in the fact that terrestrial television sucks now because programs suck. The shows suck. Nobody watches shows. Nobody watches late night. The only thing people watch are sports. And even then, people aren't always happy these days with their sports. Just look at the NBA. Nobody could give two shits about what's going on there. People will want to watch wrestling more than they want to watch professional sports half the time right now. That was followed by Iger when back at Disney helm, announcing he was looking at all options, including a possible sale of ABC, ESPN, and its linear TV assets. He has since revised his strategic thinking around Disney's linear TV assets. He told the investors conference he now seems part of a wider slate of engagement consumers. Now, you know why he changed it? Because nobody was going to buy them. Nobody wants ABC. Nobody wants ESPN because ESPN's not the cash cow it used to be. And nobody wants FX. Nobody wants any of that stuff. They are dead. You killed them. That's the truth. When I came back, I did declare everything was on the table. Iger recalled of a root and branch look at the studio's asset base. And I looked very expensively at traditional media. Ultimately, I concluded, and I know I mentioned the word portfolio, where it's not going to be a growth business, but it could become an important component to our ability to basically engage with the consumer. What? If I understand that shit correctly, there's no money in terrestrial television, but we're still going to use it to connect and engage with the consumer. No, he uses the word consumer because that's all you have. That's the only people left who watch Disney. Consumers. Open the mouth and let the dog shit in your mouth and then say, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" Customers have left because the customers are not treated with respect. Along with this strategy, Disney has reduced its content spent for traditional TV networks, invested in some of them, and managed them seamlessly with streaming platforms, whether that's ABC, Hulu. So you have to have the same executives managing both, and their goals drive basically bottom line growth success. Well, you still done a bad job because ABC, like every other network's in the shitter, and you don't actually get real subscribers with Disney Plus. You only get them when you bundle them with other shit and force people to have it. Oh, that's the end. Wow, that's it. Well, that was a load of bullshit. The most important thing out of here is when he said Disney Plus has lost $4 billion. But I thought Disney Plus was doing great. I've been told by stands and shills and pieces of shit for years that I'm too harsh, that Disney Plus is doing great, that Disney Star Wars is so great, everybody's watching it, that people go and watch all these movies when they arrive on Disney Plus. Well, apparently not, because they lost $4 billion. And now they're so desperate. Remember the news from last week? They're looking at turning Disney Plus with all their bundlings of all this stuff into basically mini cable packages, having channels. Bob Iger is a joke. He literally has no idea what he's doing. The people beneath him have no idea what they're doing. The only people that know what they're doing are his secret shadowy masters who funnel their agenda through him. They're the only ones who know what they're doing because they have a purpose to destroy the social structure of our culture, of our nation, of every nation. Fucking Marxist commie leftists. This is great. $4 billion lost. Good job, Bob. And that's not Chapek's fault. That's your fault, you jackass. Done with this. Excuse me. That's ridiculous. I have never seen anybody try to spin $4 billion lost as some sort of success. Oh, well, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. But now I'm here to fix it. And we're going to make lots of quality. We're going to make lots of good things for you now. How many times has he said that? How many times has he said that? At least 4 or 5 times. Every time he gets caught costing the investors money, he claims we're going to fix it. We're going to condense more quality, less quantity, but nothing ever changes. The only things that have changed is the fact that they haven't had enough money to make their shit. So there's less Disney shit coming out. And the only thing that's different is also because of the strikes. There's less shit coming out this year. I mean, let's look at this. I mean, I looked at it. We looked at it over the weekend. That latest Planet of the Apes movie, which they just dumped out because it was kind of the carryover from the Fox stuff, that ain't going to make a whole lot of money. At best, it'll break even, if even that. So there's no money there. We've been over it. Deadpool, Wolverine might make a sandwich. Not going to make $1 billion. I mean, those movies top out in the mid 700s, mid 700,000. So sorry, 7 million. Excuse me. There's no profit there. And I don't care what anybody says. I don't think Wolverine is enough to get it to $1 billion. Especially since once word of mouth happens, it's probably going to be, oh, I had a little fun, but that's it. There's going to be no repeat viewership of Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't think so. I just don't. I do not. Then what else you got? Disney Plus doesn't make money. You just learned that. They got nothing. And it's all Bob Iger. Every single thing has been Bob Iger. To the T. But we're supposed to sit back and think everything's going to be okay. Disney Star Wars is so good. It's so successful. Everything else, the MCU is working so well. They released that Ironheart show. I haven't watched it because I don't care. I'm not covering that shit. How long has that been sitting on the shelf? 2 years? They've had Ironheart on the shelf for 2 years. And they are not going to they're not going to do it. Am I having an audio problem? Is there an audio problem? You guys hear me okay? YouTube says I'm having an audio problem. That's odd. I think you guys would have told me if you were hearing me wrong. Anyway. Man, that's just okay. You guys hear me fine? Okay, good. Yeah. Disney's there's no saving that. And Bob Iger, he's no savior. He's not gonna get anything done. And I'm ready. I honestly I want December to hurry up and get here because when Kathleen Kennedy I can't wait to make the video. Kathleen Kennedy has left, and nothing's going to get better because it's going to be Dave Filoni or some other patsy put in her place, and there's no saving that. Here'll be a sign. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy's the first major rat that will jump ship. Watch and see what happens if Kevin Feige jumps ship. Okay? Watch for that one. I'm just putting that out there. We're in a 2-year window right now where the continued mounting failures of Disney across the board, they're going to become untenable. There will be nothing that the corporation can do to sustain the amounts they've lost. And what we're going to see now is Kathleen Kennedy will walk away at the end of the year. We are almost at June, and we haven't had a word of her contract renewal. And by now, we'd already heard it every year. Oh, she gets a renewal. No, she hasn't done it. She's gonna walk in December and be celebrated. Now watch for other important people. that are somewhat public known. So, boy, when she's gone, I would not be surprised if in 2025 you hear that Kevin Feige is ready to leave too, to go on and do bigger and better things. No, Iger is not stepping down. His contract is up in another year, but that's always been the thing with Bob Iger. He keeps saying, "Oh, we can't find a successor. We can't do no." That's he only stepped away last time because he didn't want to be caught during the disaster during COVID. That's why. So he's not stepping down. He says, "I'm only here temporarily." He'll keep being there because nobody wants that job. Nobody wants the job to manage the decline. So it's going to. What I'm saying is, I'm waiting for these major signs that the collapse is reaching its next level, because the collapse is here and now. The collapse of Disney is happening right before our eyes. Now, I don't know why. Let me check. I haven't checked it this week since we started. Hold on one second. Last week when I was covering the last Disney stuff, I swear the stock dropped to $75. When we went back and looked at it this weekend, it said it only dropped to 105. Something was wonky. It's at 102 right now. It's currently at 102, which means it is still declined. There it is. It has declined in this week. Yeah, it says, yeah, where is that 75 drop? I'm trying to find it. Last week it was supposed somebody monkeyed with it because it was a 75 drop. Right now it's at 102, which means it's still in decline. And there's no game back, because if this is a result of bobbleheads coming out and talk about this stuff, there's zero confidence that anything is gonna get better. So there's no fixing Disney. It will never go away, but it will become diminished year after year after year. They cannot sustain everything Bob Iger bought in the 2010s and in the 2010s. They cannot do it because the world has woken up. Let's be honest. The world has woken up. They're paying attention now. They realize the not so secret agenda is a real thing. They realize that Disney isn't here for entertainment. They're here to DEI you to death along with everybody else in Western entertainment, which has been poisoned by the cancer that is diversity, equity, and inclusion, and any other goddamn acronym they're coming up with now. And what we have here is the inability to handle accountability. You guys are saying the right word. There is no accountability because none of them want to be accountable. They always want to blame something else. Their favorite person to blame is us, the customer, the fans. It's our fault somehow that they're not being creative and they're not giving us good things to look at to enjoy. It's not. Well, let me put this. This is not going to end well for anybody. I mean, Disney will forever be a damaged company. And it's not good for us because we've lost so much in the process. And Disney's been a major player. I keep the focus on Disney, not as much all the other ones, because Disney is one of the major players that has ruined everything for the past 10 years or more. If you want to go back to the end of the 2010s, they're the ones who have ruined everything. They have the biggest. Their grave, their body count. That's what I wanted. The word body count. Disney's body count of cultural atrocities, of entertainment atrocities, is bigger than anybody else's. Now, there's some big ones out there, but theirs is the biggest. And they may not, none of them, Bob Iger, all included, none of them may want to have accountability, but we're holding them accountable. True fans, customers, some stockholders, we're holding them accountable. and there is no coming back. Disney cannot be saved because the infection is too deep. The cancer has spread too much. You're going to have to virtually kill the entire host body to give it a chance. That means burning it down to the roots, firing just about every single executive that's there, doing away with every single DEI department that exists, getting rid of everything that's been poisoned by their agenda stuff. And that is a massive undertaking that can't really happen. That's the thing. It's such a massive, necessary choice to save Disney that it can't possibly happen, because that would literally grind Disney to a halt, which wouldn't be a bad thing, but it would grind the company to a halt, and they'll never do that. They never will. They'll sell Star Wars. They'll sell Lucasfilm. It's going to happen. Probably by 2026. Once Kathleen's gone. One day they'll have to sell Marvel. The MCU, it's losing them money. Not as much as Lucasfilm has lost them, but it's losing them money. They'll sell Pixar. They'll have to. Pixar doesn't make them money either. You think Toy Story 5 and Frozen 3, you think that's going to save anything? No. You think Inside Out 2 is going to start a franchise to follow the dumb girl who's the protagonist her entire life? No. That's not happening. Do you think Mufasa and every other live action piece of crap they're gonna shit out? You think that's gonna do it? No, that ship has sailed. People are wise to all of that now. Everything they do is tainted, all the way down to the parks. So all we can do is dance around the bonfire. Just dance around it, celebrate it, point at it, document it, and get to say we were right. We get to say we were right every time. I haven't been wrong. Okay, take it back. I've been wrong about one thing Disney related in the past month, and that was 2 months actually, and that is X-Men 97. Apparently it ended today, and everybody who likes it liked it. They said it hit the mark. So I was wrong about that. Then again, Bo DeMeo shouldn't have shot his mouth off. If Bo DeMeo hadn't shot his mouth off, I wouldn't have had anything to say. Wouldn't have anything to say. So I was wrong about that. But 99% of everything else, I've been right about it. Just like everybody else been right. We called it. Something else I've been right about. And hailed everybody coming in. Thanks for coming in, guys. Hit that like button. I appreciate your support. I'm going to need it this year as we try and get this channel really going. We got it. This has got to be a year to really get it going, guys, because I need to change some things in my life, and I need the channel success to do it. So your support is greatly appreciated as we move forward. But there is something I have been right about. A few months ago, people wanted to tell me that nothing was going to change with Square-Enix. They were poisoned by the DEI. They were never going to get anything different. They were over, like every other AAA development company. Square-Enix was done. They couldn't get it done, and they're allowing the wokeness into everything. And I said, well, they took some pretty heavy hits. And this is a Japanese-based company, and profit matters in a Japanese-based company. It's what matters. Meritocracy is still a thing in Japan. So after the failures last year, they sold off their Western companies. Everything put up for Spoken, the Avengers game, a couple other things. They sold them, cut the dead weight. But the damage had been done. And they had made some other questionable moves, this and that. And the news trickled down. They had a new CEO, a new president, who said, we're going to change things. We're going to restructure the company. We're going to restructure what we want to do. And we're going to do better. We're getting rid of the whole ethics committee, the ethics board thing. They're gone. We are going to focus on what we're good at. And then for the past couple of weeks, we've had some serious Square Enix news. The other week, we had the news that they're going to lose $140 million, which is $22 billion in yen, or 22 billion yen. They're going to lose a lot of money because nothing hit the marks they needed it to. And that's counting the losses of Forspoken and all the other shit from last year. They had a bad hit. I'm not surprised. But then the past week, there's been one thing after another. And it is now, I'm going to bring it up. I said I would talk about it all at once tonight. So let's get to it with that. Yesterday, for all this week, we've been getting a steady stream of Square Enix news. Started with this. They're firing people. Oh, no, sorry. They started this. They're firing people, but they're also this. They're going to pursue non-exclusivity. Now, everybody and their grandma ran with this the other day. Oh, they're saying F you to Sony. Oh, F Sony. No. I'm not being a Sony apologist when I say this. What I want to say is this has more to do with Square Enix than it does with Sony. This isn't about telling Sony to go to hell. This isn't about saying, oh, we don't want to be exclusive with you because you're doing such a bad job. No, this is because Square Enix needs to make money. And exclusivity, I've said this in the past, exclusivity is stupid because it limits your reach. I never bought anything because of exclusivity. I bought things because of either quality or the library looked good for me. And whether or not something was exclusive didn't matter. It just looked good. And it's what I wanted. So when Sony says we're going to make for PC, Xbox, Nintendo, when they say these things, it's not about we're angry with Sony. It's not about screwing over Sony. It's simply the fact that they need to broaden their install base for their games. And that means not waiting 2 years to get a PC port for a Final Fantasy game. That means not limiting it to just Sony. Excuse me, in the PlayStation 5. Excuse me, 4 and 5. God, I got the hiccups. God damn it. It means, hang on. I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt the discussion. But I can't talk and have the hiccups at the same time. It doesn't mean F Sony. It means broadening their install base. And this is a good move because they need to make money because let's be honest, the PlayStation 5 install base, which is what's going on now, PlayStation 4 install base doesn't matter anymore. PlayStation 5 install base around the world, including myself, is about 70 to 75 million. That's it. PC players, hundreds of millions of people. Hundreds of millions of people own PCs. You're stupid not to want to have that install base. Over 100 million people, 140 million people, last I heard, have a Switch. Likely, those will be numbers that will eventually be the Switch 2 or whatever they call the next iteration of that console. You are stupid not to reach out to every fan. So people want to say it's all about get a Sony. No, I think you are just jumping on the let's shit on Sony bandwagon. It's about Square Enix. It's not about Sony. They need to make money because they lost $140 million. And in order to do that now, they're also saying, hey, we're going to fire people. We already cut off all those bad companies. Well, guess what? We're going to fire you people on the outside of Japan too because you're not helping things. You are not here. All the stuff that is good about Square Enix happens in Japan. We don't need all of you. So this is good. Fire Square Enix America. Fire those assholes. They're dicks too. Lay them off in Europe. I don't care. We're talking about people who are not doing their jobs with localization. Excuse me, I have to blow my nose real quick. Sorry about that. But it has to happen. Man's got to breathe. So they're firing people. Okay, that is a tried and true cost-cutting measure. And then I've been talking about this for months, waiting for the moment that I could bring to you Square Enix announcement of the actual restructuring. And yesterday, it happened. They announced their new strategy, their new restructuring. Whereas Niche Gamer was where I got it. Let's go to the actual form. Yes, here it is. We're going to go through this right now. And I'm going to comment as we go through. I've read it. I have my thoughts. And I want your thoughts too. So let's read the Square Enix new midterm business plan for fiscal year 2025 through 2027. That's important because a lot of the projects they're initiating now are 2 to 3 years down the road. So for starting next year, this is what they're aiming at. Now, the first they start off, they give us what it used to be like. It used to be, you know what, let me zoom in just a little bit so I don't have to keep looking at the two different screens. Okay, there we go. Actually, down one. All right, that's good. All right, so statements made. So a number of factors could cause actual results to be material. So this is the old stuff. Here's the agenda. So first, a look back at our previous midterm business plan. This is what they were operating on before. Previous midterm plan. These are the losses. Losses they earned. The American companies, the Western companies they were having make these Western-based games, they were DEI infested. They were Sweet Baby Inc. infested. And the mothership didn't know. They didn't really understand what DEI meant. They thought it was just more money coming in to make shit happen. They didn't understand that it meant they were going to lose customers. So that happened. But this also includes failure of games. Let's be honest. The statements are out there. I'm going to repeat them. Final Fantasy 16 and Rebirth, they didn't hit the numbers they were hoping for. Now, will there be a little more coming into that when they have PC releases? Likely. There's likely going to be a bump in both Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth when they get their PC releases. The 16 one is coming pretty soon, and the 7 Rebirth is probably next year. That's my guess. But the console drops didn't go well. One, because people were wary of 16. Well, it was a good game. You've heard my thoughts on it. Good game. Could have been better, but it was good. And there's a divide over the Final Fantasy Remake series, which I think is unfair because both games are a lot of fun. Rebirth was a great game. I highly recommend it. You can watch me play through it all on my channel, Renaissance Third Arcade. It's right there for you to see. So they lost their money for all these things. And also, there has been a dip in the MMO market. FF14 is not bringing in what it used to. It still brings in money, but not what it used to, because MMOs are expensive. Listen, it's a subscription base. It's one of the only operating subscription-based games out there that still turns something of a profit. So they had this. So this is what it used to be. Begin rebuild of HD game and smart devices PC browser portfolios. Streamlined our portfolio. This is the old one. Streamline our portfolios by divesting some overseas studios and IPs. That was, getting everything over here, making new stuff. Expand MMO business as part of our earning base. They wanted to try and, I guess, make 14 even bigger, maybe start something else, and maybe they dump money to something they shouldn't have. Transition to a stable growth phase in the publication segment. That's obviously making other products for other games. Achieve a V-shaped recovery in the amusement segment. Commitment to cost cutting during pandemic produce benefits. Expand the merchandise segment, because that's what they did before. And the challenges. Incomplete journey to better properly in HD game development. Launch many titles, but some failed to live up to profit expectations, especially outsourced titles and some AAA titles. Forspoken, we're looking at you. 16, Remake, Rebirth, a bunch of other games in between. We're looking at these games that didn't do it. But you know what? You didn't focus on what you really are. It's taken too many years to get out another Dragon Quest game. Where's 12? Where's Dragon Quest 12? That's money in the bank right there. Those are holidays in Japan when those games are released. Slow down in SD games. Unable to launch hit titles to offset market maturation, aging of legacy titles. Insufficient portfolio management in a franchise-by-franchise basis. Cannibalizations of our new titles due to launch schedules overlap. New titles nobody was interested in. They spread themselves too thin. That's the problem. Gaps in our management infrastructure. They're what you see here. We mentioned before. This is accountability, guys. This is Square Enix saying, we fucked up. Here are all the ways we fucked up. Even in management. which means they had people in charge of projects that either had no business doing it or just fucked it up for one reason or another. This is accountability. People want accountability. Square Enix is showing accountability. We did wrong. So now, here's the new corporate philosophy structure. Our new corporate philosophy structure: enrich people's own life with our help of creating precious, unforgettable experiences. The power of content, is that of moving people's heart. The experience that people are impressed is etched in my mind as unforgettable experiences over time. Unforgettable experiences will be a part of people's sense of value over time, leading to moral support. Unforgettable experiences enrich people's own life. We would like to help create precious, unforgettable experiences by delivering content filled with enjoyed fun. Think about that right there. And that was a little bit word salady there, but you understand what I'm saying. Bottom line, bare bones, that statement. We're here to entertain you. We want you to have fun, and remember having fun. Go back to your old school experiences with Square Enix when it was just Square, even before with Enix, when it was just Square, or Square Soft. You can go back, if you're an old fart like me, to the 80s and the 90s, and my God, the unforgettable experience, it exists in my memory for all those classic great games. Classic Final Fantasy games, Secret of Mana, Breath of Fire, all those great games, all of them. Fantastic. And they didn't spread themselves too thin. They focused on their IPs. And then they got Enix and they started pushing nut stuff, Dragon Quest and anything related to that. They stuck with what they were good at. And they had success. And they've realized that. Make the games. And also, let's not make shitty Final Fantasy games. Because listen, there was a batch of shitty Final Fantasy games. And no, in my opinion, Remake and Rebirth are not among that. But everything from 13 to 15 and everything in between, not that great. Wasn't good. Wasn't fun. Wasn't memorable. There are no memorable experiences from FF12. I'm sorry, I'll go back to 12. The FF12 was dog shit. Fight me. FF12, FF13, 14's MMO, we don't count that. That has experiences. 14 has had great, memorable experiences for me, including recently when I beat the original actual storyline that completed with the last expansion. FF15, nothing memorable. 16, there's memorable stuff in 16. Some of those massive boss fights in 16 were fucking epic. They were incredible. And I remember them right now. They were really cool. But all those other ones, nothing epic, nothing memorable. Everything forgettable. Or at least when it comes to some of it, I wish I could forget some of that shit. With my memory, I can't. So this right here. This is accountability. This is saying we want to entertain you. We're sorry. New corporate philosophy structure. Define our purpose and values. Defined our purpose and value to make clear why we are here and our values to guide our employees through in thought and deed. Purpose, creating new worlds with boundless imagination to enhance people's lives. Make video games. Just make a game, make a new world. There you go. Deliver unforgettable experiences, embrace challenges, act swiftly, stronger together, continuously evolve, cultivate integrity. Now, you see these things. These are the values your company is going to adhere to. I see normal stuff here. Do you guys see DEI? Do you see agenda? I don't see anything like that here. I don't see. All I see is legitimate statements of what will make a company work. Deliver unforgettable experiences. Let's make a game that's going to have you talking about for the rest of your life. Embrace challenges. I don't know what that means to me. That I guess try and push the boundaries of what you're working on with either gaming technology or storytelling or characters, stuff like that. Let's go beyond. Act swiftly. I would say that's listen to your customers. To me, that says we're going to act swiftly to customer feedback. We're not going to be trapped in the same old bullshit of doing what we think is right and not listening to people. And they have a man who they can emulate. Yoshi P. Naoki Yoshida. He is the man in charge of Final Fantasy. He listens to the fan base and gives them what they ask for. So they have somebody who works in the company right now who is the perfect man to show you how to listen to your customer base. stronger together. I just think that sounds like good old fashioned. Hey, let's all work together. Let's have good corporate unity. Whatever. Continuously evolve. Okay, that could be seen as several different things, but to me, that says let's not get locked into making the same repetitive bullshit over and over again. Let's keep making new and fun experiences and games, and cultivate integrity. That's accountability. That's accountability. That's saying we want to be proud of this. We don't want to deliver you shit anymore. That's what I see here. New corporate philosophy, defining our purpose and values. So here we go. This is just a sampling of their current stuff. The Square-Enix intellectual properties, digital entertainment. These are the games. Now they don't have the Legend of Mana stuff out here, and that or the new. Oh, here, Trial of Mana. Here it is, Trials of Mana 3. Or there's a new Mana game. I don't think that's the right one. There's a new Mana game coming out, but they clearly you can see what they're doing here. These are their successful brands right here. Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Legend series, Nier. I haven't played Octopath Traveler 2. It's on my shelf. We'll get around to that. And romancing. I never liked the romancing series, but a lot of people do. But look at this. These are what work. And they're contracting their IPs. They're getting back to basics. They're making the games that they've made memorable for over 30 years. That's the smart play. And they're telling you right here, this is what we're going to do. We're not going to try and create something new for you this time. We're going to stick to what we know you love. And we're going to make it better than ever. That's what it sees right here. Okay, so today's agenda screen is our new medium-term base plan. Okay, this is just talking about the business. This is this is the business aspect of it. Reboots waiting 3 years for rebooting long-term growth. This is what they want to do. Create new businesses. That means become leaner. That means make the business contract. You're over. That's why they're firing people. If you have to spend less on bad divisions, you could focus on the good stuff. Hey, we get more boobas, Samuel. There's plenty of boobas. I've shared some boobas recently. There's something I ran into in 14. Boobs are all over the place there. It's glorious. Merchandising. Grow by creating additional business opportunities. That, I think, is just working with your current IPs and getting the right merch out there. MMO publication amusement. Maintain momentum, develop, and expand global fan bases. That is, to me, that's keep investing in Final Fantasy 14 because the player base is generally happy. There's a lot of excitement for Dawn Trail coming out in June. A lot of excitement. I'm part of the excitement. I'm having a good time playing 14 right now. We're still getting the group together, sort of. We're all still not there at the same time, but when we're on there, we're having fun. I'm having fun. It's exciting. It's good. The games are good. SD, resume growth trajectory by launching titles that enable disruptive growth. I don't know what that means. Enable disruptive growth. I don't know what that means. I honestly don't know what that means. Establish development footprint in HD, capable of consistency and regularly releasing titles that meet our customers' expectations. That's important. That is the most important thing. Give your fans what they want. Give us good Final Fantasy. Give us good Dragon Quest. Give us good Mana. And do it in a timely fashion. Don't give us versions of these franchises that we're not interested in. Keep us locked in on what worked. Let's see. 3-inch reboots and awakens. Enhance productivity. All right, so now they're just going to talk about the business side of it. And now this is the money stuff. We're not here to talk money stuff. But everything that we've heard this week with the Square-Enix news, the Sony stuff, this and that, it's about making money. And you notice that is straight from Square-Enix. There wasn't a lick of diversity and inclusion bullshit in there. I didn't see it. Did you see it? We read through it. The only thing we didn't read was the number stuff, and that's numbers. We don't need to read that. That's for somebody who's left-brained. I'm right-brained. I saw a company that is taking accountability for their fuck-ups. They had a massive loss. I think they had a massive stock drop yesterday too. Massive stock drop. And they're taking it in stride. and they're restructuring, and they're being upfront. They're not lying to you. They're not EA, who's walking around saying, "Oh, we want to put ads in your video games." It's not Microsoft and every other one of their companies that they own. Because remember, Microsoft owns a lot of developers talking about, "Oh, we're going to keep going with diversity and inclusion." It's not Sony and all their companies censoring shit. This is Square Enix being accountable. This is a AAA company realizing that the era of AAA is in jeopardy because all these massive companies that have been in existence for the past 30, 40 years, they keep dropping the ball because they keep not delivering, whether it's through bad games, whether it's through agenda, or just laziness. And they realized that they got caught up in that. They got swept up in all that shit, whether they understood it or not, being a Japanese company, not understanding some of the shit going on over here in the West. They got caught up in it, and they have paid the price. And here they go. We're sorry. We're going to do better. We're not going to be better. We're going to do better. Actions speak louder than words. And these are actions to me that remind me why I will continue to support this company. I will probably get that Mana game later this year. I'm interested. I want that Mana game. I'm just not buying anything on release right now because I can't afford it. Except I got one more purchase in me, and that's Dawn Trail next month. It's one more. That's it. Anything else I'm getting, I'll be getting on sale come Black Friday, Cyber Monday for holidays. So I'm not buying any new games anymore. We're going to be playing games I have on my shelf or old games. New game, either backlog or old games for gaming stuff right now. But that's the thing. They have you said it. They've taken accountability, and they're saying we're going to make this stuff. Now, some people I've heard comments. Oh man, Final Fantasy's dead. Rebirth killed it. It's not dead. If you actually played the game, it's good. They had a marketing problem with Rebirth, compounded by Sony being a dick about censorship. That didn't help anything. But Square Enix itself, they're proving right now, we are here to give you an unforgettable experience. I like that phrase, unforgettable experience. They want you to have fun again. It's that simple. And I'm willing to get Square Enix has earned enough goodwill with me in my lifetime that I'm willing to keep riding this train. I'm not going to jump off. I'm not going to yell and scream. I'm not going to throw a tantrum. I'm also not going to equate, as I said, I'm not equating their decisions with the whole, oh, they're doing it to stick it to Sony. No, it's better money to be spread across everything. It's that simple. That's it. So I hope you guys understand why I'm approaching this the way I am. I want to stay objective. I want to keep my fanness. I'm not a fanboy, but I want to keep my fanness in check. My love of Square Enix in check. But I'm not going to run around just saying things for shock value, for headline value, for clickbait value, because that's not how I operate. I don't like clickbaiting. I try to do it as little as possible. Sometimes it's inevitable with certain stories. I try to do it as little as possible because when you clickbait, you lose the story. You lose the story because you're not there to talk about it. You're just there to say it and move on. And I wanted to talk about. I could have done 3 Square Enix videos this week, but I wanted to get on stream and I wanted to talk to you about it and try and lay it out on how I see it. It's not about giant gay chickens, you giant gay tentacle monster. You, God damn it, Samuel. Sam just wants to stick to me because I do Mellow Mondays this week. He's angry at me. We'll be back next week. Don't worry. Well, they're there. They're all there, and there's various ways to get them legitimately. You don't have to necessarily emulate them, but they're out there. And I've given advice in the past on where to start. In my opinion, if you want to start Final Fantasy journey, the 8-bit collection that's available on Steam is a great place to start. I would start with Final Fantasy IV, my personal sentimental favorite. And then go 6, 7, 8, 9. I like 10 too. 10 is a lot of fun. Then you can skip 11 because it was an MMO and doesn't. Is it? It might still be active. It does MMO. Doesn't matter. Fuck 12. Fuck 13. Fuck 15. And give 16 a chance. And then enjoy if you want to get a MMO experience. Enjoy 14. As I said, I'm back in. I've been playing 14 since in 1.0. But I've been playing it for over a decade. Even though my playtime says I've only played it for X amount of time, I've still been playing it since last decade. I've been playing it for over 10 years. I go in and out. I fluctuate. It's a lot of fun. We're on there. We're on this Midgard Stormer server. We've got a free company, our guild. Me, Dermy, some of the other boys from the whole Ball Busters circle of stuff. We're all in there. There we go. Don't listen to Samuel. 6 is a great game. 6 is a great game. But it's a lot of fun. We're having a good time, and anybody can come play with us. It's not restricted to YouTubers. Anybody can come play with us. If you're interested, let me know or let Dermy know. Let one of us know, and you can get hooked up with us because we're having a lot of fun. We're there to play the game and have a good time. There to hang out and chill. It's not about streaming it. It's not about getting time. It's about having fun. And Final Fantasy 14 is still fun. Great story. I just finished the original main storyline. The last expansion concluded the original storyline, and I just finished it last week. And man, what a ride! Woo, it's been a ride, and it was great. I feel fulfilled. I got to the end. Now I'm doing the post content where we're setting up for Dawn Trail and all that stuff. I'm into that. Although they're doing a great Final Fantasy IV shout out. We're going up against Gold Beds and the Four Fiends. Yes. Oh, see, that speaks to me. Endwalker was very Final Fantasy IV heavy, so I've really enjoyed a lot of parts of it. I still think Shadowbringers overall, the preview expansion, was the best expansion out of all of them. But I enjoyed Endwalker's Final Fantasy IV moments. They really sang to me. But we're going against Gold Beds and the Four Fiends. Oh, I love it. Oh, I'm excited. Can't wait. But I gotta clear some raid content first and get my gear done before get it started before I get back to that. I've got 6 weeks. No, 7 weeks. I've got 7 weeks to get ready. Finish getting ready for Dawn Trail. That means getting all the content done, and then that means leveling up my crafting to get ready for Dawn Trail so I can get early access on the 28th. And then because I got a Viper, new class, Viper, dual wielding swords. Oh, I'm ready for that. Anyway, all right. So that's it. I said you want to do Final Fantasy. That's my recommendation. Start with 4, work your way up. Some people have their favorites based upon where they started. And I started way at the beginning, but 1 doesn't really count, and 2 and 3 aren't, and 4 is great. All right. That's kind of it tonight, guys. I got nothing else to talk about. I've said my piece, and hail to all of you who came in here. I did see you, and I thank you all for joining me. So let's go over what's going on the rest of the week. You guys will also get a minute to ask me. Maybe I didn't talk about something you want to hear me have a point on. You don't have to super chat. It could be straight up comment. Ask something while we go over the remaining week's events. For those of you who didn't come in the beginning, I like to review what's going on the rest of the week. So tonight, we're done. That's it for tonight. I'm going to do private play to relax now after this. Tomorrow is Thursday. We're going to finish Stellar Blade over on my gaming channel, Renaissance Nerd Arcade. We're going to try and finish it. We're at the end. We should be able to finish it tomorrow night. We'll see whatever things happen for videos tomorrow. When we're done here, I invite you to go check out the regular videos I posted today. We'll be talking the Assassin's Creed Shadow stuff on Roundtable this weekend because Jed is an Assassin's Creed guy. So I really want to get his take on that. Friday, regular stuff again. We'll see what happens. Ballbusters, 11 p.m. Eastern on Dermy's channel. Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern, Saturday Night Drive-In. Myself, Dermy, and Jed is joining the panel now. We're going to keep roasting Shooty Gotwest cosplaying of Doctor Who. Join us at, 6 p.m. That's 8:30 p.m. Eastern. God damn it. I got to head for it. Talking fast. 6 p.m. is Saturday Night Drive-In. Jed and I, Star Wars month, Attack of the Clones. Join us there. Going to be a good time. We're going to be a little harsh on it, harsher than we were on Phantom Menace, because let's be honest, Attack of the Clones has more problems than Phantom Menace did. Anyway, so we got that, 6 p.m. Eastern, and 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Dermy, myself, and Jed, we will be roasting episode 3 of Shooty Gotwest cosplaying of Doctor Who. Then later that night, I'll be on probably Saturday, just gaming with the guys there, probably playing some Final Fantasy 14. Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, I said round table, go over the week's events. I can tell you now, we're going to talk Rings of Power. Rings of Power is back on August 29th, which means on August 31st, this is Mordor country. Yes. Yes. I'm excited just to roast the hell out of it. So we'll be talking Rings of Power on Sunday. We'll be talking Assassin's Creed Shadows. And by then, we'll have some other topics going along with it. I'm sure we will. Join us for that. And then Sunday evening, if Devil isn't gaming, I'm sorry, if he isn't doing Get Ranked, I might be on Get Ranked this week. I might be on it. This might be the heels for wrestling. It might be wrestling heels. So I might be on Get Ranked. I don't remember. It's either this week or next week. Anyway, so I might be on Get Ranked this Sunday. Then let's see. That's it for Sunday. Mondays will be back, 9 p.m. Eastern. I will make sure that I have things to talk about and we're ready to go. And also, I had a couple other things going on that I really couldn't do Monday. The other day, I really couldn't. Then we'll be back. And then next week, we will continue going throughout the week. We'll be right back here, hopefully, with another Natural 20 next Wednesday. I'm sure something will happen. Tonight we got lucky. Had shit to talk about. You got a good rant out of me when it came to the Dune stuff. Hope you enjoyed it. All right, guys. So that's it, guys. Thank you for all being here. Remember to hit that like button, please. Leave comments. Share the video. Share the channel. Let's get hopping. I appreciate it. Without you guys, I don't get to do anything. You guys are my support, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So until next time, guys, take it easy. Have a good night or day wherever you may be.